Hello, hello. Is my testing? Is my sound on? Hello. Okay, it's working. Body odor vlog. I don't know. I think this is 48 or 49. I think I haven't done it in a couple of weeks or stuff. I was going to do it. I was gonna actually do it on the 31st on New Year's Eve. The only reason why I was gonna do it is not only because I'm a loser, but also because I just finished watching Star Wars and I wanted to rant about Star Wars and just rant about the whole entire series. I was actually gonna make a vlog where I was just going to rant about the entire Star Wars series and just the final Luke Skywalker saga, or the rise of Skywalker. That was gonna be my rant, but then I was like, I don't know. I just didn't really feel like doing that. And I didn't. And to be honest, I didn't even do anything on January or New Year's Eve. I was planning to. In my head, I was thinking, hey, maybe I should go to like the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, because last year I tried to go to a casino near me, and it was like a mix. It was an Indian casino, but all they had was like slots. And after I just wasted $20, I'm like, this shit's boring. And I thought there was gonna be like, those. I thought there was gonna be a blackjack table and a poker table, and the typical things that you see in typical Hollywood movies where people are, gambling their money away. I wanted to just at least do that. Wasted $50 on that, but this year I did not. I guess I had the ability to do it, but just like many other people who have this condition, like, you're just like, I don't know if I want to deal with people. And then at the same time, if I stay there till like 12 o'clock a.m., 12 a.m., then I have to be in the traffic. And I just didn't want to do that shit. But there's a lot of stuff that has happened. And this is going to be one of these vlogs where it's not going to be short. I think I'm just going to just rant for 30 minutes. I'm probably going to try to do it chronologically. Because there were some things that happened that I never really spoke about in the last other ones. But I'll just explain right now. So, basically, I finally passed like the CDL general knowledge test. And it took me 4 times to do that shit. It took me 4 times to do it. And the first time, the reason why I wanted to pass it so badly was not only just to get the CDL, to get a CDL license, whatever, but also because I at that time I had a job with Teleperformance where the client I was working with was what's that shit called, Ancestry, and I just really hated it. I don't know what it is, but talking to people every day is just annoying as shit to me. It's just not. I don't know. It just like drains my soul. So I really wanted to at least do the written test, pass the written test, so then I could say, okay, I'm going to go to training, so fuck this job. And I really wanted to have an excuse to say fuck this job. So so when I did the tests, and I waited in line, a long line. I went to a DMV that was in a actual mall, which is very strange to me, but okay. I waited for like, I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes till I can finally do the test. And I failed that motherfucker. I failed it. The thing is, there was like 50 questions and you have to at least not get 10 wrong. So if you ever get 11 wrong on the test, you automatically fail it. But if you reach question 41, you automatically pass it. So you don't have to reach all the way to question 50. But the first time I did it, I reached to question. I don't know where I reached. That's so funny. Where did I reach it? I think I reached question 42 or 43, and then I failed it. And the second time I did it, I reached to question 47, and the second time I did it, I was like, oh my god, I almost might pass this, but I failed it again. And then the third time, I did it, I made sure to request an appointment. I didn't know you could request appointments on the DMV. So the third time, I made an appointment and requested it early in the morning. And that was I was literally at question 50. I was at question 50. and I had 10 wrong, and what was that? I had like 10 wrong and 39 correct. And if I get this one question right, I will automatically pass it. And I think what the question was like, it had to do with like a radiator in a truck or some shit. And they were asking me like within the weather, within like snowy conditions, what is this particular component used to do when it's snowing? But I'm like in Florida, and more specifically in Miami, and it hasn't snowed in like 1970 something. So this was like one of the stupidest questions to ever get. But yeah, I failed that one and automatically failed it. And then I'm like, fuck, now I have to go back to work. But then the guy who was in the booth told me, do you want to try it a second time? I didn't know you could try it a second time. So then I was like, sure. So then the fourth time I did it, I passed. And then when I finally passed, I was elated. I was like, yes, finally I passed. And then he's like, oh, do you want to do the air brakes test as well? I'm like, wait, what? There's another test I got to do? He's like, yes, once you do the general knowledge test, you got to do the air brakes test. And I'm like, I got to do another test. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that shit. And then next week I did it. I actually did the test, the air brakes test. And I passed it like that. It was way, way easier than the general knowledge test. I didn't get any wrong on the second test I did, which was air brakes. And so now, once I finally got that, now I got my serial learner's permit. And basically what that means is I have the ability to now do training, and then I can do a test for my CDO knowledge in order to get the license. So I still haven't got my license yet. And technically I have chosen the school, and I'll get to that later, I guess. But yeah, I was elated and it's so funny because the day, like once I passed the test, or the day before the day after I passed the test, I received an email from one of, I guess, my supervisor from Teleperformance or Ancestry, whatever, and she was telling me that my schedule was approved because, to make a long story short, I requested to quit. I just wanted to quit the job, and then she was like, wait, hold on, let's talk about this for a second. And I basically told her I wanted to at least complete the CDL test before the new year comes. So I need more time. So then she was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. And then she sent me like some type of news time schedule of my requested days. And then I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna even do this shit. So thanks anyways. And then I just stopped going back to work. But the thing is, like, I don't know if I want to rant about work. I don't know if I want to rant about Ancestry. I think Ancestry, working on Ancestry, I think it was really cool because in one thing, like, I never knew like how extensive it was. How, the service, you have like a selection of just so much databases that have records on the military records, birth records, death records, census data from like the 1920s and shit. Like, it has so much records and newspaper articles that date back to like the 1700s. Like, working in Ancestry made me appreciate how like robust Ancestry is. And they also have like a family tree type of thing where if you can find like articles or even yearbooks with, I don't know, maybe a relative or something, you can link that person to your family tree. You can link whatever record that you find in the database of Ancestry to your family tree. And so if anybody wants to look into it, they can look into it. The thing that actually bothers me about Ancestry is the fact that they do some like little like slimy shit with like the cancellation. Because this is what I started to learn a lot. A lot of times, majority of the times, I would say 4 out of 10 calls I would receive would be about cancellation, or how they felt like, oh, I thought I canceled my account and I'm still getting charged X amount of dollars. And the thing that Ancestry does is so sneaky is the fact that they will there will be like an option to cancel your account, right? So then it transports you to a page where it asks you, oh, what are the reasons why you want to cancel your account? And you choose a button, and then most people like pretty much just stop there. Most people just stop there. They just choose the reason why they wanted to cancel the account, and then they close out the window, and then that'll be it. And what actually happens is there's like 3 more other pages that they have to go through in order to officially cancel the account, or cancel the subscription, I mean. But Ancestry does it in a way, design-wise, where it makes you feel that you canceled the subscription. So that's why I get so many I got so many customers like, man, I canceled this account 4 months ago, and now I'm being charged $389, and I want you to cancel it, and I want my money back. And it's like, bro, I can't help you because, well, technically I can, and that's another thing that I really hate about Ancestry, but is basically going back to customer service. But going back to Ancestry with the cancellation, they do little slick stuff where they make you feel that you canceled it, but you didn't actually cancel it, so then you still have it active. And then that's why I get just tons of fucking calls where people said, oh, Ancestry is charging me X amount of dollars even though I canceled it a year ago. And it's like, bro, you didn't cancel it for real. And it just gets really annoying because I know Ancestry designed it in a way to do it, to make people give the impression that they canceled it successfully. And that was really annoying. And the reason why it was even more annoying was the fact that, like, I know they can give them some type of confirmation that they actually canceled it successfully, but they don't do that shit. So that's the only thing I didn't like about Ancestry. Other than that, Ancestry is a cool service, but I didn't want to do that. Just the idea of waking up every day to go and talk to people about DNA toolkits and why they didn't cancel it successfully, and then you have to give them you have to have a professional tone. When people start like bitching to you, you can't say, hey, cut that shit out, shut the fuck up, and just just take it. Just take the idea that you just lost $389. But yeah, I didn't really want to talk about Ancestry. I just did it because, you know, I did it for something temporary until I was able to finally complete the test. And it was great. And then after I completed the test, I'm like, okay, now I have to find a training school. Because that's the thing, you have to train for the test. There's like 3 different tests you have to take. After you do the written portion, then you have to do the actual test where you do a pre-inspection, you do a parking test, and then you do like a road test. So originally I looked at one of these schools where it said that I had to pay them $1,700. But I was thinking to myself, maybe I should look around some more. So I looked at 2 other schools. One was saying that they had you only had to pay $600 or something, and the other school they didn't even give me a price. So I went to that school. I actually drove all the way to that school, and it was like $795. And one of the perks about this school, at least from when the guy was like explaining it to me, he was saying that you can come at any time you want. There's not a set schedule. You can walk in at any time you want to do your training. It's only $795 as opposed to the $1,700 that I had to pay for the other school. And you have like an unlimited amount of tries for certain types of tests. And I'm like, this sounds a lot better, right? But at the same time, I didn't want to actually go into that school because it seemed very unprofessional. Because when the first time I went inside the school, there were just so many cars lined up. There were so many cars in this like compact parking space. And when I walked out my car, I just saw like a bunch of dudes, like maybe 10 to 15 dudes, like sitting on like a park bench waiting for just like this one truck to finish doing some type of parking maneuver. And that sort of like bothered me. In addition to that, I don't know, it looked very, since it was cheap, I naturally thought to myself, maybe there's lower quality because of that. So I didn't know if I wanted to get that test. I didn't know if I wanted to pay $795, even though it's cheaper. But ultimately, I said, you know what? Let me just pay the $795 and see what's going on, right? But that's, I'll talk about that later. I think other things, yeah, other thing that's really happened was, um, I think I want to talk about dye a little bit, or kefir, or maybe I should talk about maybe I should talk about the maybe I should talk about the CDL experience, because I'm technically in training school now. Because then it actually kicks in with dye at the same time. All right, so let's go back. Let's still stay on the topic about the training school. So it was so funny, like the day that I went to go to the school, I went there for information. I didn't sign up for shit, right? And the night before, I was eating like crazy. I was eating like Oreos and shit. I was eating like Oreos. I put like, I was eating like Oreos with like peanut butter smothered on it and shit. Because I was like, before that I was eating like consistently like I don't know, I was like eating consistently like just veggie smoothies and like salads and brown rice with like, and sometimes eating like grilled chicken. And I was eating that for weeks until I went to the training school. And the thing, I think the reason why I started eating so badly was I quit my job and I wanted to celebrate, so I went to like Publix and bought like cereal. No. I bought ice cream. No, I bought ice cream and I bought chewy Chips Ahoy. And when I ate the chewy Chips Ahoy cookies, I smothered it with peanut butter. That shit tastes really good, but that's a different story. But when I went to the school before, the school's called Metropolitan Trucking. I went there for information, and I walked past a lot of people. I didn't really see people react to me like that, right? But I guess 2 weeks later, when I finally decided, okay, I'm going to choose this school, and I went into the school. I went into the school again, and I went into the office, and it was actually a woman. Before, it was like an old fat guy that was talking to me about the job, about what they offer. And then the next time I went there to actually make a placement of put some money on it, it was like a young Puerto Rican woman and shit. And to be fair, like I was consuming veggie smoothies, but the night before I ate like a ton of brownies and some like a pepperoni pizza, and that shit was really good. And the next day when I went inside the school, I was talking to her and shit, and at first she didn't react, but like 5 minutes in, she just did a subtle like this, right? And then as time continued to progress and she continued to try to explain to me about what's offered, she started rubbing her nose every 30 seconds. There was even a moment in time where she faked a phone call. There's like a phone like right next to her, and there's like a phone right next to her, and she was like, "Excuse me, I gotta take this. Hello? Yeah? No, we don't offer that. Thank you. Anyways," and I thought that was so weird, but I think the reason why she did that is so she can like direct her nose in a different direction so she couldn't smell me. And at the same time, I'm like, whatever, right? And to make a long story short, finally buying, paying for the course and going to the trip and going to like the CDL school, I'm not gonna lie, I sort of regret I sort of regret paying the $795, because when they give you the ability, or they told you, oh yeah, so you can come at any time. It's flexible to your schedule. That's the selling point, right? But the thing was, that's like the downside, because since you can come at any time, and everybody can come at any time. So ultimately, when I want to get a lesson taught, there's like fucking 12 different people there at this truck. there's 12 different people there at this truck, and if I want to like get like a personal coaching, it's gonna take me an hour plus for like the instructor just to talk to me specifically, because there's certain things that you need to know how to do when they're trying to prep you for a certain test, like the pre-inspection trip. And since there's like 12 different people, and every like 10 minutes there's like another person shows up, because you can come at any time, right? There's another person that shows up, another 10 minutes passes, another person shows up. So then there just becomes this like big ass line, this big ass line where people are waiting instructions from just one instructor. And there's always like one instructor per test, right? So for the pre-inspection guys, there's only one instructor. For parking, actually there's two instructors. But it's like for two different type of vehicles. It's for two different type of parking maneuvers and stuff like that. To make a long story, and I also have to say that, couple that with the fact that it's a long line, and I'm and it's like hot outside. The sun is beaming down on you, and I'm sweating profusely, and all that turns into just a bad time for me. It just turns into a bad time for me. And basically what I wanted to say was, even though I ate like brownies and I ate pizza the night before when I actually purchased the course, I made a decision just to go back to the original diet where I just ate like brown rice, I just ate salads, and I just consumed the veggie smoothie, and sometimes I would eat like vegetables. Like one day I'm going to show you there's like in Publix, there's like these like frozen vegetable like packages where it's like, you know, broccoli, or it's like green peas or green beans, and it's only around like $2 to $3, and I buy like 4 or 5 of those packages. It's called Steam Fresh. If you go to the aisle, and I'm pretty sure you can find it in Walmart, because I know there's a lot of people go to Walmart. You can buy that for like $2 to $3, and I would also get like frozen vegetables and heat them up and incorporate it with like the rice, and I would just eat that. And I started doing that from last week till now. I just started eating that. I stopped eating meat. I stopped eating any type of sugar, no bread, none of that shit. The only time I might have sugar is like within my veggie smoothie. I might add like strawberries or something like that. I might add strawberries or raspberries or what is they called, blackberries or something like that. But it's not going to be like a lot. It's just be like maybe 2, 3, or 4. So it's not like something crazy or anything like that. But nonetheless, I started to notice I still get reactions. And so that's the reason why I never wanted to say that like kefir cured me or kombucha cured me, because like I need to be around people and sweat to know for a fact that I don't smell anymore, or I don't give off any reactions. But just yesterday, I made it a habit to go early in the morning and exercise. And like I said, I only consume just salads, veggie smoothie, brown rice, and like frozen vegetables. Obviously I'm not eating it frozen. And that's all I've been eating. Oh, and been drinking like milk kefir and kombucha, homemade. I'm not buying store-bought. Also, I do want to say this too. I started let me see here. I actually calculated how long I've been drinking kefir and kombucha. Let me see if I can open up a tab. And let's see here. Because I recorded it, I just can't remember. Damn, this shit's taking so... I hate when the internet... It takes so long for the internet to work. Okay, hold up. No, this is going to take a long time. But I've been... Basically, I was going to say, I've been drinking kefir and kombucha for a very long time. And there probably were moments where I just did not drink it at the time. I didn't drink it at that one day. But I would say like 90-something% of the time I've been drinking it from... Let me see, what was the year? Ooh, it's not. This is not the one. This is not the one. Let's see here. I've been drinking it like maybe the start of November or something. Let me see. Okay, so the first time I ever drank kefir, I started drinking kefir was on October 14th, 2019. That's the first time I ever started drinking kefir. And I did a store-bought kefir, which was Lifeway, no flavor, and was low fat. And the first time I drank kombucha was on October 21st, 2019. So for milk kefir, for about 93 days, I've been drinking it. And for just kombucha, 86 days I've been drinking it. And the funny thing about it is that, with Salvador, he told me like, for the first 4 days, I started seeing noticeable results. Well, I've been drinking this motherfucker for 86 days. And to just think back on my last 2 days where I was at the CDL trading school and people would like rub their nose, it wouldn't be, don't get me wrong, it wouldn't be so severe. But the reason why I think it wasn't so severe is because of my diet alone. I don't think it was because of the kefir or the kombucha. So I've been thinking to myself, like, it's crazy that I still get like reactions, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. It only depends, and I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it's like possibly the milk kefir, maybe like the dairy is making me smell like cheese or some shit. I don't know if it's the kombucha, because sometimes my kombucha is too sweet. And the reason why it's like really sweet is because, like, I'm following the instructions of Salvador, and he puts like 3 times as much sugar in his kombucha. And I fermented for 3 weeks, so it's not like I only fermented for a week or something like that. So that can't be the reason. But sometimes it'll still be too sweet, and maybe that's making me smell, or maybe it's the brown rice. I don't fucking know. But I'm starting to think to myself that maybe it's the probiotics or the food-based probiotics that's not really helping me. And if I just ate the diet alone, maybe I will have less reactions. That's what I've been thinking about for the last couple of days. So I'm thinking about not buying milk anymore to make milk kefir. I'm thinking about freezing my milk kefir grains and just storing them in the freezer or something like that. And for a week, I don't think I'm going to drink kombucha. And then I'm going to see what happens. Here's another thing. Last year, I bought new glasses. So why am I using these glasses? So these are my glasses. I hate actually trying to get different types of glasses, so I try to find something that looks similar or the same. Anyways, yeah, so with the kefir and the milk stuff, the kefir and the kombucha, I've been drinking it for like almost 3 months, right? Consuming it for almost 3 months, and nonetheless, there's nothing at this moment that makes me feel like there's a difference in the odor. I feel like the reason why I'm getting less reactions is because of the diet alone. Because I stopped eating meat and I stopped eating sugar or any type of processed food. So I do want to just hold off on drinking kefir like maybe next week and the week after, because I feel like that's contributing to my odor. But at the same time, I also have this suspicion that possibly the brown rice is contributing to my odor as well. So I don't know, man. I wanted to talk about Star Wars, but maybe at another time. I'm going to end right here. The end.